What's good, future millionaires? We back with another banger. I'm DecemberDeMarco, Fortune 500 marketer, here to share my insights of the market with y'all to hopefully help y'all become better informed investors, man. Salute to y'all for pulling up on the channel. Make sure you hit that thumbs up like button for the YouTube algorithm, and do not forget to subscribe. So stay tuned. We will be stepping up the camera. I got my new camera in. I'm gonna be hooking that up pretty soon. But we got a market update. I got 3 must-know things that you need to be able to use during this market in order to be a better informed investor. So I'm gonna introduce y'all to 3 indicators. Some of y'all, if y'all been rocking with me for a while, y'all might have seen these indicators, and if you're new to the channel, then you probably haven't just yet. So I'm gonna teach y'all how to use these so that way you can know the optimal times to buy into your favorite assets. Now we're taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has officially hit that $20,000 level. I know it sounded crazy when I was first calling it, but you know, I had to tell y'all, you know, the facts of what the charts were telling us the price was pointing to. Also, it looks like we could potentially even see some lower levels around at 19 and potentially 17-ish range if things get really crazy. But I want to show y'all these 3 indicators. We got Bollinger Bands, RSI, and MACD, which stands for Moving Average Convergence Divergence. The RSI stands for Relative Strength Index, and the Bollinger Band is self-explained. So I'm gonna show y'all what these mean, how to use these, and you know how to determine what's likely to happen with the price. So if you see, if we zoom in here, you can see these 2 blue lines. We got a blue line at the top of the price of the candles, and we got this blue line at the bottom of the candles, and then we have a line in the middle of those 2 blue lines. So the top line is called the upper Bollinger Band, the lower one is called the lower Bollinger Band, and the middle one is called the mid Bollinger Band. So normally what this is a deviation of where the price could likely fall in between. So you see how the lower band is here, the upper band is here. This tells us that most likely the price is going to stay within this range. Most likely it's not going to fall outside of this range. Could it fall outside of it? Of course it can. Take a look right here where it briefly wicked down, but notice how it quickly bounced right back up in between these bands. So these bands just basically give you a range of where the price could bounce around from. And this was created by, I forgot his first name, but his last name was Bollinger, so that's why they named it the Bollinger Bands. So when the price is falling along these lower bands right here, this lets us know that the price is actually cheap for where it's set right now. When the price is trading along these upper bands, it lets us know that the price is becoming more expensive. When we see the price become cheaper, that's a signal that buyers are likely to be more willing to buy, because the pricer is cheaper than when they know it's cheaper than the price that they know it will be once it goes back up, once it starts moving towards this upper Bollinger Band. And once it reaches this upper Bollinger Band with the price becoming expensive, that tells people that are holding it at that point, or traders, the people that are, you know, making quick trades to make money, that tells them at around this point they could start to sell it to take profit. Now we could also see sometimes where people, if the price has been trading along this lower Bollinger Band, where traders start to take profit right around this mid Bollinger Band, just to you know, basically take their profits off the table to eliminate the risk of, you know, it basically being rejected off this mid band and traded back down. So they might, you know, sell off, you know, 100% of their position, 50% of their position right there, and let the rest ride, or whatever number they want. But sometimes they use this mid Bollinger Band to take profit, and sometimes the upper one to take profit. So keep that in mind. And the lower one is used as the signal to buy. Now, not all the time, but you know, you want to look at the overall market condition. You want to take a look if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend and respect the trend. Right now, obviously, we're trading within a downtrend, so we have to know that it's not likely to just, you know, return it and go bullish and just blast through this mid Bollinger Band and, you know, even to the upper one and break out of that without some type of good news coming in the market. We can know that if we stay around where the news that we have in the market right now, we should be trading maybe sideways around this range, unless we start to get some type of good information that comes in. Now another thing I want y'all to take a look at is volume. Now, this isn't one of the indicators that I named in the beginning, but this is something you want to definitely take a look at. You can see the volume actually tapering off here. So if we had a sign of volume increasing with the price trading along the lower Bollinger Band, that could be a signal that it's really a good time to buy right then, because buyers are stepping in. More people are becoming active in the market. Now, also, you can use volume as a false signal indicator. So sometimes we can see the price pushing up towards, you know, the upper Bollinger Band, or looking like it wants to break through, or even trading somewhere near this mid Bollinger Band and looking like it wants to break through. But we can see volume will be really low, and that would tell us that that's a trick, that it's not really going to continue to go up because the volume is too low. Not enough people are coming in to actually trade. So now the next one I want y'all to look at is RSI, Relative Strength Index. Now what this does is tells us if the asset is overbought or oversold. So right now we can see that our RSI is right now at a 23. So anytime that we see okay, yeah, I just want to make sure. So anytime we see our RSI below a 35, at a 35 or below, that signifies that the asset is completely oversold, or be just becoming more and more oversold. When we see it at a 70 or above, that means it's becoming overbought. Now those indicators can be used to signal to us that when it's oversold, that investors are basically not seeing the value in it, or they're forgetting about the value that it has. And most likely once smart money comes around, or those that catch on, they'll eventually buy it up and push the price back up. So that's what you want to look for. It's oversold, that's a signal that it might be likely to turn around. Now when you look at the RSI and you see it up higher around the 70s, and for instance, take a look at, let's look at the chart right here. You see down here it's at a 23. Now let's take a look up here. You see where it's pointing at this peak right here. Let me make sure y'all can see that with my mouse. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. So notice here, right around here where it's at a 70. Notice how once it reaches that point, it sells off. So let's keep taking a look throughout the chart. Notice how the price pushes up. We get around that 70, it pushes down. It pushed back up to around that 70, sells off a little bit. Pushed up to that 70 point, sells off. Reaches all the way down till it becomes oversold. Bought back up all the way to the point it becomes overbought, and people sell off again. So you can use this as an indicator to tell when buyers will be, basically starting to buy and sell off. So that's a really good indicator I like to use as well. And then you compare those two together to help you just get, optimal entry, or, a very good price. And then you can also use, the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence, which basically gives you a signal to let you know once the price is basically flipping back bullish for a short period of time. So once we see this signal line crossing over this line, the MACD crossing over this line, the blue line crossing back over this red line, like for instance here, notice how the blue line drops, and then we see right here the blue line crosses over the red line. Right when it's about to make that cross is a good signal that you want to get in, because that means right at that moment the price is likely to start moving back up in the opposite direction. Now you want to test these indicators out all together and see how they work, because it's not all the time it'll be 100% accurate and correct, but you'll get a lot better understanding of what's happening with the market and where the market is about to head by using these. So also let's do another one real quick. Take a look at Shiba Inu. So I just wanted to, show y'all how to use that actually, or how to understand those indicators. So now we're looking at the Shiba Inu chart. Let's pull out some of these indicators and see what it tells us. Because, we're not just creating what we want it to say or what we want to happen. We're looking at the indicators and reading based off that. Okay, so we can see right now, Shiba Inu is trading right off of that lower Bollinger Band right now with a flat candle. Once the candles are flat like this, when you see the candles flat, that means the market is kind of in agreement with where the price is. When you start seeing candles get bigger, the larger candles, that's more confidence in the direction that it's moving. So you see the candles start getting big red candles this way, that lets us know that the market is kind of confident to let the price start falling. When it starts trading sideways like this, notice how the candles get skinny. That's because they're kind of in agreement, like, okay, like right here is where we think the price should be. Then it dropped a little bit more slightly, but right now it is trading off of that lower Bollinger Band. Could it drop further and these bands open up wider? Yes, that could happen. But for the time being, it's telling us this is the range that the price wants to trade within. Now we can look at the volume and see that the volume is dropping a little bit, so likely the price could pull back if the overall market continues to pull back. And then looking at the RSI, it's at a 31. Remember, I told y'all 35 and lower, it means it's oversold. So right now, Shiba Inu is oversold. A lot of people, sold off, a lot more than they, probably would wish they had once the bull market returns. So, I mean, are you wrong for doing what's best for you? No, you're not. I gave y'all a few different strategies. You could have held, average down, dollar cost average, or you could have sold your positions up higher, and, let the price fall and then buy back into your favorite assets at a cheaper price. But then I told you run the risk of having to buy back higher. And then now we see our signal line. If we take a look at this MACD, the blue line, it crossed under, and then it kind of traded sideways right here just with it. And if we zoom in a little bit, let's try to get a closer look. We can see it looks like it's testing it. So it dipped under a little bit here, pushed back up, traded right equal with it, dipped down a little bit, and now it's pushing back up. So it's looking like it possibly wants to cross this line right here and, go bullish for the short term and possibly push us back up around at least that 1043 range. So remember, I'm teaching y'all how to use these indicators so y'all can do this for yourself. Or you can reach out to me to get one of my courses. I got my technical analysis course that will teach you how to understand these indicators and a lot more. Also, all these tools and things like that, and a lot more, investing wisdom, knowledge, information that you'll want to know. You can reach out to me to get that at DecemberDeMarco@gmail.com. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. And the devs have been kind of quiet lately, so I'm expecting, with Ryoshi saying, he wanted to see weekly updates. If we look back, Satoshi has basically gave us our last update almost about a week ago. So about another day or two, we should be expecting some really good news, or at least a major update on something. Now, overall market down 6.6%. If we take a look at these top coins, Bitcoin down 7.2%. Earlier it was down around 9%. Ethereum down 10.2%. Earlier I think I seen it down around 12%. BNB down 7%, 215. Cardano down 6.8%, down to 48. XRP down 2.9%, down to 32 cents. So XRP holding nicely. I mean, even though it's fairly, it's down 3%, but compared to some of these other numbers we're seeing, it's holding nicely. Dogecoin down 6.7% at 5 cents right now. And for the token coin of the hour, we got Shiba Inu at the 81.99 level, down 4.7%. Notice how SHIB is holding strong. SHIB is not down as far as Bitcoin. It's down as far as, as many percentage as Ethereum. So that's something that I'm happy to see right now. And that could be a sign that, buyers, the market for SHIB are, holding a little bit stronger than some of these other coins. So if we get a nice little gain in the market tomorrow or the next day, a nice little mini run, don't be surprised. Be wise about it. Never risk more than you're willing to lose. It's not financial advice, more like financial education, entertainment, whatever you want to call it. But appreciate y'all for pulling up on me. That's all we got for this video, and we are out.